Welcome back to Fiercely Unfiltered. Today, I want to talk about cannabis and how it has been my number one choice for lifestyle management pretty much since I was 16 years old. I have used cannabis since I was 16, off and on my whole life. I stopped when I had to, like when I joined the military, I wasn't allowed to smoke on a daily basis like I do now. Also, when I had my kids, I had to stop smoking. So I'm able to stop smoking when I have to, but if I don't have to, I don't want to stop smoking. I don't drink. I don't do any other recreational drugs. Cannabis is the only thing I use. And for me, cannabis has helped me with everything I need help with. If I wake up at 1 a.m, I can't go back to sleep, I smoke cannabis and I can go back to sleep. If I'm feeling anxious, I smoke cannabis and I don't feel anxious anymore. If I'm feeling frustrated, I smoke cannabis and it helps me not be frustrated. If I am thinking and my mind's running too much, cannabis helps me slow down my thoughts and it helps me not let the intrusive thoughts take hold in my mind. So for cannabis, I think it's a great avenue for anyone who needs help with anything. Um, I owned a cannabis store, so firsthand, I got to see all the different people it helped and all the different ways it helped people. Even my mom, who had cancer, she used to take Ambien and she started smoking cannabis and was off Ambien. And cannabis is a plant, it was made by God. So I think it's one of the safest things you can take, especially if you go to a legal store where you know everything's tested. There's definitely bad stuff in black market cannabis. So definitely go to a legal facility if you can. I think cannabis, I was in the military, and in the military, worst case scenario is how you always think. And me not being able to smoke cannabis in the military, it was a challenge. So I'd go to the doctor and they prescribed medicine for anxiety. I took those for a little bit, but I only could take it for like a week because it just slows down your mind so much that someone would ask me a question. I'd have the response in my mind, but I just couldn't say it. It'd take me like a minute to get out what I was thinking. And I'm very fast witted. I have responses really fast. My mind moves very fast. I talk very fast, as you guys can see. So that didn't work for me. And getting out of the military, I couldn't find cannabis. It was hard to find clean cannabis. So I had to get black market cannabis, obviously back in 2004, which wasn't a safe way to do it. And then I just kept using it and I could see all the people it was helping. So my husband at the time was in a motorcycle accident. We lost our real estate business. We didn't know what we wanted to do. He was put on prescription pills. At the time, I thought people who took pills were weak-minded. They just didn't have the mental toughness not to take them. But once I saw him get addicted to them and they changed his personality and he was a completely different person than the person I married, I was like, damn, like people aren't weak. It's these drugs are fucking brutal. So at that time, another why was built for me. And it wasn't just a why for my husband. It was a why for veterans, because I was one. I would have loved at one time to be prescribed cannabis while I was in the military to help me with everything because I knew it did, but it wasn't an option because of the rules. So they gave you pills and pills weren't the best option. And at the time, 21 veterans a day were committing suicide because they didn't feel like they had help or just for any mental reasons they had. And that was just devastating to me. And I just looked it up. It actually thinks it's more like 44 to 50 veterans a day kill themselves. They're just unreported. So they don't have accurate numbers, which they did reports on that. So I wanted to make cannabis available for everybody. I wanted to I want to change the stigma on it. I was an Army veteran, a mother of two. I wanted to show people that it wasn't a gateway drug to heroin and to be a drug addict. It was something people use for lifestyle management. It was just like medicine from the doctor. And even with the doctor, when he prescribes medicines for people for their mental health or for whatever, they give it to you and you try it out for a couple weeks or a month and they adjust your dosage or whatever so it works with you. For cannabis, you kind of have to trial and error. There's so many different ways to take cannabis. I can't do edibles. I don't do drinks. I don't like to eat or drink my calories. So I like to smoke or use vapes. But other people don't like to smoke or use vapes. They like edibles or syrups or to cook with it. There's so many different ways to use it. And I have so many people who are like, I've used cannabis back in the day and it made me paranoid. I didn't like the way it made me feel. Cannabis back in the day isn't the same now. I tell people it's like DayQuil and NyQuil. You can't take NyQuil and expect to be productive during the day and have energy. You can't take DayQuil at night and expect to sleep. It's the same thing with cannabis. It's just like medicine where you have to try it out, do what works for you. Different things work for different people, even for edibles. Like I can eat a cookie and a 250-pound guy can eat a cookie and it could not affect me in any way. And he could be hallucinating his balls off. It's insane. So I just think cannabis is a good option for people. I've never been a drinker. I used to drink. I don't have anything against drinking. Like I was never an alcoholic who had a problem, had to stop. It just does nothing for me. And now that I'm healthier and I'm eating right and all that, I feel like it's putting poison in my body. And I don't want to drink alcohol as calories because the calories I put in my body, I want to be fueling my body. So, and I also think cannabis is something that's still not that accepted by everyone. I'm judged a lot because I don't drink and I smoke. People don't understand people who don't drink for some reason. It's like, just do a shot with me. Just do a shot with me. It's like, I don't want to. Like, I don't like the taste of it. It does nothing for me. It's not making me better. Like, there's no reason. And I don't even really go out at night either, because when I do go out and I'm going with people drinking, it's like, they don't remember. So why am I wasting my energy and time going out when people aren't even going to remember the night? That they're going to be so drunk, I got to sit there and watch them be drunk. And then no one remembers but me what happened that night before. So I don't really go out. I don't drink alcohol. In my years growing up, I've tried almost every drug there is. I'm not against people experimenting. I've never really got addicted to anything. I've gone through phases in high school and stuff where I did different stuff. Later on in my adult life, I got involved in some stuff I'm not proud of that I'll talk about a different episode. But this episode, I just want to talk about how cannabis has been a constant in my life since I've been 16. It's only been a positive for me. I've made it a part of my career. I had a strain named after me called Hurricane. It was pink and green and gold camo or copper camo after me. So it's been a big part of my life. And I can't wait for more Americans to be smoking cannabis than drinking. It's crazy because I always go to cannabis events. 420 is coming up on Sunday. It's my favorite holiday. It's been my favorite holiday for a long time, or my favorite day of the year. It's just everyone comes together and just they're happy. If you go to a cannabis event, it's so different than any other event. Like you'll be in a line for hours and everyone's just smoking joints, talking, happy. Like, doesn't matter if you're waiting in line. Because if you weren't waiting in line, you'd be sitting over there smoking. So the people who smoke cannabis, and even as a parent, people shame parents for smoking, but people don't shame parents for drinking. Like I see people with their kids wasted, yet someone's with their kids smoking and they're a bad mom. Like people are very judgmental. Everyone has their avenues. And if it's not affecting you or affecting their lives, then it's really none of your business. But I want people to understand that if you haven't tried cannabis, it's not a bad option. It's not going to lead you to want to do heroin the next day. It's actually a very calming, relaxing plant. You just have to make sure when you go in, you talk to the bud tender or the person helping you and let them know the reasons why you are looking for it. If you're looking at it for energy, let them know that because you don't want them to give you something that's putting you to sleep. So on this episode, I just want to see 420 is one of my favorite days. Cannabis is one of my favorite, or is my only vice that I use and it's the only one I need. So anybody who needs something to sleep, anyone who's on all these medications, her bones ache or whatever, try cannabis. I use cannabis before I go to sleep. I use it before I work out. I use it before I go running. I use it before I do anything because it's just better. It just makes life a little more relaxing, a little more fun. I mean, when you have kids and you smoke, it's like you're on their level. Like you can imagine stuff, you play, like you're more in the moment. I feel like cannabis makes you more in the moment. And the times in my life when I wasn't in the moments, I wasn't able to be smoking cannabis. So kind of relates together. So Medcare Farms was a big journey of me in cannabis from 2009 till present. In a different episode, I'll kind of go over the last year of that because I stopped our story at 2024, right when it got shut down, but it continued, the story continued for still continuing right now. So I don't want to go through that story until it's over. So there are certain things that I won't be sharing until the time's right. But this episode is all about my love for cannabis, how I will be smoking when I'm 100 years old if I get to live till 100. I always used to say I'm 90% cannabis and 10% Dr. Pepper. I don't drink anything but water now. So now I'm probably 90% water, 10% cannabis, which is probably a way better mix for me. But just everyone, I want you to understand that if someone chooses to smoke instead of drink, it's not a bad option. If my kids came to me and said, I want to do one thing, what would it be? It would be cannabis all the way. Like when I used to drink, I don't remember exactly everything that happened. Like I'm not completely in control in my life. Everything bad that's really happened to me has been when I was drinking. I put myself in situations I shouldn't have been in. I wasn't in the right state of mind to protect myself or make the decisions I needed to not get myself in situations I regret. When you take pills or anxiety medicine, it completely changes who you are as a person. I've witnessed it firsthand. But when you smoke cannabis, it doesn't change your personality. It just mellows you out. It's just the perfect combination for me. I've been someone who I've always said I've had ADHD. No doctor's ever told me that, but I think I have. And I can only smoke nighttime cannabis. Everyone who knows me will never give me sativa. I don't need to have that kind of energy. It is really to make me tone down a little bit. Everyone always tells me I'm too much, which I'm learning to stop caring about. And I'm not too much. I'm not taking up too much space. I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be. But cannabis does help me be more level-headed, helps me pause in the moments, and it just helps me reflect and be a little calmer. So if you need something, don't try alcohol. Do cannabis. It's safer, it's better for you, and it's the way to go. And happy 420, everyone. I hope this day still carries the same feeling for me as it did when I was in the industry, but I'm sure 420 is always going to be one of my favorite days. So till next time, and enjoy Sunday, and I hope everyone enjoys 420. Have a great day.